Now it says going live. And it's really real. It says we're live. I have to make sure. Okay, there. Yahoo! Okay, well, hello. Hello, everyone. There are so many people in the chat already. Thank you for blessing us. I'm Katman Udarro, psychic empath and psychic wrangler. Welcome to Third Eye Salon. Where in each and every show, we take a fresh, deep look between the veils of reality. And today, we are looking between the veils of your reality as we are doing live readings. And I'm just going to flip us right into Brady Bunch view, so you can see us all at the same time. So let us say hello to my friend, psychic and conscious business coach, Lynda Colter-Bergh. How are you doing, Lynda?
I am doing wonderful. I'm so excited that we are doing another one of these. Oh, it's so much fun. It's so much fun to see everyone come in and our energies join, not just the four of us, but everybody that is watching us. So thank you for being here. Make sure that in the conversations on the side that we are all playing nice because you know my rule, play nice or get out. And if you like these shows of us doing this, show us the love by hitting the like button right now so that we can get seen by more people, okay? Because this is a special show where we're answering questions, make sure you use that little question mark or something else so that we can see them, because I'm not going to be able to do as much interaction as I normally do, okay?
Yeah.
So
I'm just going to be doing readings, so
yeah,
make sure hit the big question mark, the big red question marks, so we can see it. So exactly, Lynda, thank you.
Exactly. So I'm going to let Kat talk about what we're doing today as well, but be sure to check out our links below if you're interested in doing more. And thank you again for the coffees. We love coffee.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Lynda. I'm sorry. I was just going to say that, yes, we have got our links down below. We've got all of our links down below. So if you're wanting to get a more direct reading with any one of us, you can do that. And also, if you want to donate to any one of us directly, if you loved what Angela said, she's got a link down there. You loved what Lynda said, she's got a link down there. So if you want to donate to any one of us, you have the ability and power to do that, to support us in that way, as your heart so guides you. And let us say hello to our co-host, lovely Angela Anderson, shaman in Florida, living the life, creator of motorcycles and creator of being of oneness, bringing it in through her artwork these days in bigger and bigger ways. How are you doing, Miss Angela?
I'm doing well this morning. I'm excited to participate in this live reading show. It's always great to get and hear the different perspectives that we all bring, because no two people hold the same perspective. So that's one thing to keep in mind as we endeavor to go forward with the reading. So yeah, exciting. It should be interesting based on your questions. So yeah, excited to get to it.
Lovely. And speaking of lovely, it's Jason Adkins. How are you doing, Jason? He is a psychic medium, and he's also an amazing artist who's able to connect with your ET guides and put them onto the canvas for you. How are you doing, Jason?
I'm doing well. I'm always excited for all of us to get together and just kind of share, I'm excited to have the people in the chat. And I will say this, I'm going to give a tip. The more specific your question, the more specific your answer.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And it's one of those things where it's like, because you got four people looking at the same object, Lynda sees it from this vantage point, it has this nuance, this truth. Angela sees it from this aspect, it has this nuance and this truth. It's not right or wrong, it's what's being perceived, and it's up to your heart to discern what is the thing you want to lean into that's going to serve you most. So you are the one who's empowered to live your choices and tune into what's true and what's right for you. We don't do guru stuff here. We just do reflection so that you are empowered in your own life. Fair enough? All righty. So now, also, I want to let you guys know this. So this is a big deal. So before we get to our questions, I want to let you know that we have been blessed to be accepted as an affiliate for Surfshark. And I have been using it personally for 2 years, and I use it every single day on both of my devices, my phone and my computers. Well, I guess I have 3. But I have been using their VPN for 2 years, and VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. And that protects your devices from viruses, malware, data leaks, and privacy threats, all from one account. You can put it in all your devices. So if you hit up the link below, which is a great way to support the show, if they feel so called to do that, you'll get a discount of 48% off for 26 months, which is insane. Plus, your first 2 months are free. So it's a win-win. You can try it for 2 months, you decide if you like it or not, and you're out nothing. So give that a go. All right, now, let us begin our readings here. So just know that also as we tune into your stuff, we might take a few minutes and be in silence while we tune in, but go ahead and start plopping those questions into the channel, the chat here. I see A. Smith has got a question already. So let's just pop in with that one. Remember to put your question marks before it, because I can see it, because A. Smith has 3 questions marks behind, but maybe Lynda, if you can pop in that question, that big red question mark we're talking about, so people know.
Sure.
Thank you.
And some don't have access to that. So at the beginning, put something to give us like 3 of something so we can see it.
3 question marks. Put 3 question marks. That way we know
even
what it
just 3
is.
question marks will do. But
At the beginning, so we can, it's easier to find because the stream does pop up. All right, so A. Smith has a very black and white question. So again, we're going to tune into this and you might get some really nuanced answers here. So A. Smith asks, should I quit my job? And I think we've all hit that question at least once in our life, if not multiple times. So let's give us some space for all of us here to just tune in to A. Smith, and should A. Smith quit their job? And as soon as somebody has something, feel free to hop in.
My first thing is changing the question from should to, is it in my highest good to change my job now? So you want to put in your highest good and a time frame, because to ask a question like that, should you, is based in judgment and ego. And you're asking, it's subtle, but it's different. And then the time frame, it's like, well, yeah, someday you should, but so asking in a time frame. So is there a time frame that you are thinking of in ending this position?
Yeah, I got it's choice. It comes down to choice. Is it serving you? Asking those questions. Is it serving you? Because you are the boots on the ground. You are the person in the physical. So it's your responsibility as a person, a being in the physical, to make the choice. That's what free will is. We all have the choice to choose. Either way, there is no right or wrong. It's just a matter of the path that you've chosen in that moment to take to get to the ultimate next phase in your evolution. Neither is wrong. Each will yield its lessons that are necessary to your ultimate end, but it's up to you. Your guidance, your team will not make the decisions for you. They will advise, they will support, they will guide, but they will not make the choice for you. It's your responsibility to make that choice.
I love that, Angela.
Yeah.
I've got this card. I'll pull this card up so you can see that. And to me, it like, this is what I get from this is conference with your higher self, conference with part of you that knows, and to kind of calm down from the reaction. I feel like both your integrity and your boundaries are being challenged at your work, and you can see what you're capable of, and you're like, it's not this, it's over there. And there's a desire to like hop and leap. But if you don't clear your house first, and you don't come away with these boundaries, you don't come away with this sense of my integrity is intact, you'll repeat it. So it's like, take this as an opportunity for you to say no to this, yes to that, to get clear in your own value. If your value is being challenged, if your self-worth is being challenged, this is your gym. This is your psychic, emotional, spiritual gym for you to get clear on what your priorities are, who you are, how you are. And then once you're in that resonance, a door will open that makes sense versus you being like, I gotta get out of this one because I know this isn't, this feels toxic, this feels that. But you have to clean your house first and stand in the resonance of who you are. So I would definitely confer with your higher self and be in relationship versus forcing the will, which is really what both Angela and Lynda both said as well.
And then I'm going to give you my woo-woo answer. And then I'm going to give you another answer. So the very first thing was similar to what Angela was saying. It's like, if you feel so called to do, if you feel called to do so, but then I'm going to be totally honest with you. My stomach is in knots. So I'm like, no, like right now, I'm going to give you a yes. I'm like, no, it does not. It doesn't feel like it feels like, okay, how do I explain this? If we quit right now, in this moment, the situation is not going to get better, right? Like my stomach is in knots. So it's a no for me. But then again, free will, right? Like if you choose to, it's your choice. I just want to be like, I feel like I have somebody that's like, how are you going to support yourself? Like I feel like there's someone, they're like, nope, like not unless there's already something else in place. Because there are things that you enjoy, right? Shelter, food, heat, air condition, right? Like someone's very sensible. So it's like, it very much is like, make sure that you can see the path to another opportunity before, but sometimes taking that leap opens, right, the door, but it's a no for me. It just doesn't feel, right now, it doesn't feel like it's the right time. That doesn't mean that the timing may not come. There's got to be like a 3 or 4 months. I don't like to do time frames, but there's like a 3 or 4 months from now. So what is that? April? I feel like March, April.
I was gonna say, Jason, I feel 3 months too. Like Lynda, I feel that with you too.
I want to say this. Sometimes we have a tendency to want to run away from things that don't necessarily feel good, things that present a challenge. But the ultimate thing to remember is that wherever you go, you take you with you. And to remember there is something in your field that is that's seeking to be seen, that's seeking to be addressed. Whatever angst that is that's causing you to feel the need to want to leave, you would want to review that first. Because ultimately you take you with you. And so there's the potential, if not addressed, to repeat the cycle. This is how we get into a habit of cyclical patterns fleshing out in the physical. So making sure you address the root of whatever it is that's bringing this, that feeling of angst that's causing you to consider leaving. Yeah, that would be the start.
Beautiful. Anything else, co-hosts on that
yeah,
question?
I guess I want to explain a little bit. I have a pendulum up, and what Angela was saying was we called it double C confirmation. If I held it where I was normally at, it would hit me in the chest. So we like to have fun here. So yes, it was really talking about you are taking whatever lessons you did or didn't learn to your next phase.
Yeah.
And it was also with the 3 months, I was really getting a strong yes. Forward, backwards is a yes. Sideways is a no, but it depends on what I'm thinking. So don't always go with what somebody's saying. It's me having a conversation.
Right. That's a good point.
So I always have conversations. So don't get totally caught up. But if you see that thing just going back and forth, that's definitely going in agreement with whatever's being said. And so I kept hearing or sensing this situation with 2, maybe 3 other people that are causing a lot of angst. And what I wanted to ask is, one, if I'm feeling correctly, that there's that dynamic happening. And is there a possibility of that? Well, that's not a good question because there's always a possibility. Within the next 3 months or so, because we see that 3-month change, does that mean that the situation can help clear it up within those 3 months? So so then it's going to a no. So whatever that situation is, it will probably continue, but you have the opportunity to change how you handle that situation. And then it gives you also time to align what your next path is. You can also, what I was getting is start taking some of those steps now in creating that, which will help set that in motion.
And it'll help you feel better too.
You don't have to have an all or none.
Okay.
So there we go.
I think that's great. That was very well rounded, and I think we reflected the same truths, different angles of the same truths. I'm going to go to Miss Laura's question. So thank you, A. Smith, for asking, and I hope that was a blessing to you. Laura Holland, she asks, hello everyone, big heart, because she is a big-hearted person. I'd love to ask if anyone can give me some insight on a stressful legal situation my husband and I have been in for quite some time. Also, I'd love to hear from any ET fam. Thank you, big heart. So I'll say that again. So I'm going to call you the contestants. So our co-host can tune in. So Laura Holland is asking, I'd love to ask if anyone can give me some insight on a stressful legal situation my husband and I have been in for quite some time. Also, I'd love to hear from any of my ET fam. And again, whenever someone gets something, feel free to hop in at any point.
Okay, because I've got okay. So this in regards to the legal situation, and I kind of want to be like, this is for entertainment purposes only. Disclaimer. I don't know if it almost feels like, and I don't know if this has happened or if it's something that we're thinking about happen. I keep hearing that there's something about a change with a lawyer. So if you're working, I don't know if you're thinking about changing who you are working with in regards to the situation, or if you have, it feels like there's a change, like there's a change with the lawyer. That just feels like it's almost like, how to describe that? It almost feels like this change or bringing in this new person, this new energy shortens and finishes the situation instead of it continuing to drag out. So I don't know if that's an option or if that's something you're looking into, but it very much feels like there's this new energy that needs to come into the situation in regards to who we are working with. That it's almost like they come in and then it's over. I almost feel like I almost feels like there's a lady, there's this new energy that comes into the situation. It's like a lady, a female lawyer. There's also a reference to, I don't know if this is something to look out for. I'm not sure what it means, but there's like a June reference. I don't know if that's the month or a name, but it's June. I can just keep on babbling.
Okay, well, that's okay. I didn't want to be, I was like, because, as you continue to get things, Jason, like wave your hand or whatever, like if more stuff comes in,
They're just
I
like
love
red
watching
tape.
you.
Is that the right terminology? Red tape. Like this is just surrounded. Like it's this jumbled mess, right? Like this red tape. And like, it feels like this new energy comes in and untangles it. Like I am vibrating.
I had the ET family on speed dial.
Go get it, Angela.
Yeah, they have a message, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna come spoken as light language. So
okay. Oh God, so cool.
Metsuru andesu are dan sotokoara isondo a shoru andaku sere o a sere undekai shoru andesu ue a yaturu en suro feronte esondo kai sheru e parondoko a se durunte. Rasute ansaturu e sindekai rotoa bashoro rasute da. Also, that was Arcturian. Yeah.
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful. I think it's so powerful when the four of us get together. There's an amplification of our energy.
I think so. So I will tell you the first thing that I did was ask. First, I had curiosity of what it was pertaining to, and I heard doesn't matter. And then I heard lawyer. So again, the question came up for me, is it that upping your lawyer, changing your lawyer, here we go with a yes again, can have a huge impact. I also asked if there was anything that was being missed on your side. And again, I'm getting a no. So like sometimes in a lawsuit, it's like there's something that you're just overlooking. I don't think you're overlooking. And what I heard it's in the messenger, it's in the message, in the messaging. And so perhaps this person will come in with a different way of vocalizing your position, a more powerful, there we get a big yes, a more powerful presentation. And I think that really is going to be part of the key to this.
Beautiful. I'm gonna hop in, but if there's more that comes in, all y'all we'll get that too. Okay. So this is the card that I got for you, Laura. And to me, what I feel with this is to me, I feel this as the universe coming in to you to talk to you. And there's a conversation of for you to command your power in this panic and in this dynamic of like what's going to happen, this isn't working, this is all of that like emotional jumble. You have lost your personal power in some of that, And what I feel like coming through is energetically, this is an opportunity for you to energetically reclaim your power. No matter what happens, you can't let the waves come and batter you. Like, you have got to be the one that commands the waves. So as you ground yourself and energetically decide what's going to happen, that opens the doors for the right people to come in, for the right situations to come in. But you have got to be the one who comes back on top and says, no, this now. I'm doing this now. And as you command it, things start to move out of the way and there's a new flow that comes in. So it's just very important for you to remember that you are the creator and that you are the master, and what you command, so it is. That is the message that comes through on that.
I agree.
Yeah, my guys
That's
agree.
huge.
Yeah, that's what I heard coming through. Yeah, you have to decide for yourself how you want this to turn out, and say, this is how this is going to turn out, and stand firm knowing that if you command it, this is what will come to be. Yeah.
And I also, don't forget, you can draw the right person to you. It's not like you have to go out and really look for that person. You can make the effort of going through and looking and listening to your intuition, but more than likely you're going to have that person show up through a recommendation, through some strange bump in the street. Who knows? But if you are calling that person in, if that's truly what you want, again, your creation. So being very clear about what your outcome, what you want, and how soon, and be open to be able to identify that person when that person shows up. So that's another part of it, is recognizing that person.
Yeah, I just want to add one thing. Sometimes, my guys are saying, sometimes humans have a tendency to want to separate worlds. Like, I want to do this thing in the 3D world, but I want to function. I know I can function like this in the spiritual world. Well, the goal is to marry the two, because there is no separation. So just the way that you would respond to your spiritual self and your intuitive self, using your intuition to dialogue and draw forth that which you want to manifest, do the same thing with those things you perceive as being only in the 3D space, because you can apply your 5-dimensional knowingness and abilities to the 3D space. That's kind of how you marry things up together and transcend the 3D details and minutia of things. Yeah.
All right. I think that feels complete.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to say, Jason, that A. Smith confirms they were feeling 3 months before you, like, intuitively, they were feeling 3 months before you said it. So you are on point. All righty. Now we've got Terry T. Will I meet my man soon? Ah, honey, tell me about it. Will I meet my man soon? I'm so ready for my love. Been single for a long time. I just want to fall in love. Oh, be careful. Please and thank you. By the way, my birthday is coming up. Well, happy near birthday, Terry T. And we'll tune into your question for you. I will read the question again for our co-hosts and myself to vibe into. Will I meet my man soon? I'm so ready for love. Been single for a long time. I just want to fall in love. Please and thank you. By the way, my birthday is coming up soon. All right, it's coming up. All right.
Okay, I'll respond first. What I heard is, will you meet your man soon, to the degree that you have learned to love yourself? Like, that's the response that I got. Pretty direct and straightforward. No extra. That's what they say.
I think I got something really similar in enjoying your own company, enjoying your life, and celebrating who you are attracts those who want to be in that energy and are that energy. So just make sure that that energy that they bring to you is a good match, because you can also attract people who just like being around that energy. So I also heard the word discernment. So you may have more than one come up as opportunity.
Jason, do you want to hop in, or?
I'm like the age-old question, right? I'm like,
Yeah.
me too, girl. Me too. I get this, like, I almost feel like you're overlooking someone. Like, right, like you have, like, it's almost like, and we all do it, right? But it's like almost like there's this idea of who I want this man to be, and like this romanticized idea of who this partner should be is preventing you from seeing who's in front of you already. Because I feel like the energy is there. I feel like I'm overlooking it.
I'm gonna hop in, but if anyone else has things to follow up, we don't have really a system here, so I'm just trying to.
Yeah, no, I'm just getting a double C confirmation on that one.
Okay. The Jason's on it like a bonnet. So this is a card I picked up, Terry. I'll kind of zoom a little bit so you can see maybe closer. So we've got somebody looking up. They're holding what seems to be a bear tree. Their eyes are gazed to this beautiful bird that's flying up. And I'll say, first of all, be careful in what you ask for, because, I just want to fall in love. Well, there are a lot of people that would like to take advantage of that. Do you want to fall in love with a scammer who steals all your money? Do you want to fall in love, like, be careful about how I just want to fall in love. It's a really big statement. Be very clear about how, with whom and how you want to fall in love. Somebody that honors my integrity. I want to fall in love with somebody that, and what I see with this person who's holding this tree, like, there's this barren tree saying, I don't really have anything. I wish I had that. I don't really have anything. I wish I had that. And it's like, this tree is there for you to pay attention to, but you're not, it's been so neglected. All the leaves are gone, it's starting to wither. And it's like, I wish I had that. And you're not seeing what's in your hand. What's in your hands to grow right now? What are you nurturing? What are you fostering? When you are fostering and nurturing something wonderful and rich inside of you, that's going to attract the right person. But if you're doing this and you're neglecting this, well, you're going to attract that. Do you want to attract somebody who's neglecting themselves? Do you want to attract somebody who doesn't take care of themselves? So be very clear about what you're giving to yourself is what you're mirroring out in terms of what you're attracting. And to stop the eye of envy and start feeding the forest that you're living in, because it's a beautiful, lush forest waiting to bloom, should you so give it that time and attention.
Yeah, you can't attract what you are not. You can't resonate with what you are not. So you have to be in that space in order to bring it into your experience. I think we kind of said the same thing a bunch of different ways, but it's all the same sauce. Yeah.
Well, and I also want to add, like, what are you doing, right? Like, are you putting yourself in places where that's a possibility? Stop the swiping, okay? Like, that's not going to work. It doesn't feel right for this situation. It feels like when this happens, it happens out in a physical place, not on the phone, right? Like, we're not swiping right, swiping left. It still feels like the energy's there. But it's like, if I sit at home all day, even if I'm swiping and clicking and liking and tapping on my phone, if I don't go, like, that's still not going to do anything for me, right? Like, it's the thing of, like, putting yourself in a position, like, what are you actively doing to seek it, right? Does that make sense? Like, what action are you putting behind the want? I also, I think this is a good idea for anybody, regardless of what they're looking for. If there's something that they're seeking, Kat's like, be specific, because you could open yourself up for people that when you're just like, I just want love. Well, yeah, okay, they could scam you. They could do this and that. Write a list. Like, it's the easiest thing to do. Write a list of the characteristics that you're looking for, what you want this relationship to be like. Like, what do you want them to be like? I'm a big fan of like putting it on paper and then burning it, because it's like you're transmuting it and you're releasing it, right? You're changing the energy, or it's a physical action that you can do to kind of give it power. But there is also this, there's a got to put yourself out there, but I still feel like it feels like it's really close. Like it almost feels like it's someone that you know, and it's like, oh shit, I would never have thought about that person in that way. It just feels close. But there's action that has to be put with it.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same, that I keep getting in the periphery. So when you say close, someone in proximity, and yes, getting out. The very first thing I heard when you were talking, again, careful what you ask for, careful what you're focusing on, because I heard, don't you want someone that loves you back?
Mm-hmm. Boom.
So not just that you love, but what are you actually seeking? Is it someone that loves you for who you are, and celebrates you as well? So being very specific on that. And also I very much got the being in the feeling of it happening. Like, really, instead of having it out there of, I never find this person, where is this person? Why can't this person find me? Why am I not with this person? Feeling what it would be like being with that person. Bringing it into the now in your field, again, will help attract that person who's looking for the same thing. And yes, you have to take action.
Sometimes we say we want somebody who loves us for who we are, right? But then that's the caveat, because you got to know who you are. Like, you got to really know who you are beyond the mask and the pretense that you try to portray for the outside world. Because if you do that, you are going to attract someone who is that mask and not your authentic self, right? Which is going to clash with what you really want. You understand what I'm saying? It's you got to know who you are in order to attract in that space someone who's in resonance with the truth of who you are, because then there's a freedom. There's no pretense. There's no conditions around love. There is just an authentic expression of who and what you truly are at your core, because life reflects you. So wherever you are in your belief system about yourself, life is going to reflect that back. So you want to be sure you are operating from the authentic truth of self. Yeah.
And right before Angela said that, I had to be clear on your values. So that's again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's all good. So just again, I got some more clarity on this, where it's like looking for love to land in your tree, but look at your tree. Like, the tree is so neglected. Like, if you're looking up and wanting that the bird of paradise to land in your tree, but what kind of home have you built for the bird to land in? And again, that self-nurturance, self-care. And then I feel like what Jason was saying with that fire, the fire is not just only releasing what you want, but there's some part of yourself also that you're releasing. Like, I see these flames coming up as a little portal for you to go through, in terms of saying, yep, I'm not doing that anymore. Yep, I'm not compromising that anymore. And there are some key things that you've been willing to compromise for the sake of love. I can put up with that for love. No, like, at a certain point, you're going to be like, nope, this is really, really what I want. And once you're really clear, your eyes start to clear, your vision starts to clear, and you'll see what's around you, and you might be able to see that person who's around you that right now is clouded over because you're looking for love out there to land in your tree, as opposed to releasing the things that don't serve you, so love has a firm foundation to land on. All right. So does that feel complete? Okay. And just was going to follow up with Miss Laura, who says, "You're all amazing. Thank you so much. Heart, heart, heart." So you are welcome. Our pleasure. All righty, then Denise. Denise from our third Eye Salon group. Thank you for being here today. She asks, what do you see career-wise for me in the near future? So this is Denise, and it's Denise's journey on here. I don't give out your last name since I don't know if you want that out there or not. But Denise from our group, Denise's journey, asking, what do you see career-wise for me in the near future?
I get something in the space of communication. Something in the space of communication, like heartfelt communication is what I hear.
I keep seeing you writing, typing.
Books. I
Is
was
there
just getting books. I was just getting books. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I was getting, was expression through the word, through typing, through writing.
Yeah.
Also getting interpersonal relations. I asked if it was technical, and I got no.
I'll hop in here. I've got this card here, so I'll do a little slow zoom in so you can see all the different aspects. And to me, this speaks about your personal journey, where your light in the world is what you've gone through. It's what you've been through. And as you're able to chunk it down in terms of your experience, it creates a path for others to follow. It's something that you may have discounted before, because we do that in our own path, our own journey. We're like, oh, well, that's just me though. And we tend to discount it because it seems it's our normal. Even our most shocking moments, it's still, well, it's just me. I'm not that person who's done that, who's done, that all the external reflection. And so what it feels like to me is that as you give yourself permission to see the value of your path, and that your path has a purpose, and that it has fuel, it has fire, it has flame, it has energy, and you show what you've overcome. You can tell people what you've overcome, the challenges that you faced, how you face them, how you overcame them. That becomes you find your passion in that. And it's less, looking outward for the career. It's more like the passion starts to drive, the passion comes forward, the passion clears the path. And it also opens up your ability to channel higher information. Like as you're reflecting on your journey, as you're putting your journey into a story format, higher wisdom starts to come down through you. So you've got your both internal passion and a higher wisdom that comes in with additional clarification while you teach people that they can overcome their demons, they can overcome their challenges, they can overcome their obstacles and still enjoy their life. That's what I got.
And I kind of want to ask, what do you want to do? Right? Like, what is it that you want to do, and is that feasible? Is that something that that you can work towards? There's pieces of things that, like Angela has said, and Lynda, it's like the communication thing. For me, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I get this customer service type thing, like this, and it would be wonderful for me to be like, yes, like you're gonna be an astronaut, a movie star, like these dream job type positions. It very much feels like, if it is like I need this immediate type thing, that those opportunities are available. It almost really feels like there's a work from home opportunity, where customer service, right, like over the phone type thing. That's if there's this need currently, but if there's not the need, if the rush isn't there, right, like if you're able to continue living, right, and there's no pressure, like I have to get this job immediately because this is due, I would ask, what do you want to do, and then what steps are you taking to do that?
It almost feels like the choice between the immediate satisfaction or the immediate fulfillment of the need for a job versus the potential of what might be, like what you have the potential to bring forward into this space. What would serve the greater humanity, if for lack of a better word, right? Because there feels to be experiential wisdom that can be shared in a heartfelt way through communication, through books. Like that's what Lynda and I have discussed, and Kat kind of pulled out as well. But if there's a need to meet financial obligations in the immediate, because we're still in the 3D space, then maybe that's what Jason is addressing through the customer service route.
It also feels like there's an opportunity, and I don't know if you currently do this. I feel like I'm making something. Like I feel like I'm physically hands-on making, like craft, like almost like a crafty thing. Like, people do, like they'll make like the oil things or like soaps or things. Like there's a crafting, like there's a very tactile thing there also. But Angela, yeah, when you were just talking, like chill bumps, like it totally resonated with me, what you were saying.
So it feels like there's options, it's like you can choose, if you can choose working from home, doing something service oriented that's maybe craft oriented while you're also writing it. It doesn't have to be either or. It feels like it's compatible and supportive. And the other little card I picked was this one, and which is such a beautiful card. And to me, it feels like, and I think it's response to your question or what you said down here in your comment, Denise, because you said, bear with me for a second. Basically, oh yeah, here it is. I've been nudged to write a book about my journey with the galactic beings and my ascension, but I don't know where to start, don't know what to start, don't know where to start. So I feel like this is response to that, where it's like, find a community of other writers. Find a community of other like-minded people and have community, as opposed to you having to forge it out on your own. It's okay to reach out and say, this is what my ideas are. What do you think? Here's what I'm working on. What are you working on? Oh, this is exciting. Have a community, a circle of writers around you. It also will validate you as a writer and validate your work as a writer as well. When you have those reflective, believing mirrors, you're all coming in service together for the greater good. And if you don't have that, start it, create it, meetup.com, lead it, do it. Just don't deny it, because you're denying yourself and your greater gift and the mission that your heart's wanting to give to the world.
When she said in her comment she didn't know where to start, right? You start one word at a time, right? Like,
right.
That's what I heard. I heard with a word. Sometimes when I gets a little snarky. So it was with a word. I actually picked up on Jason's as well, right before the writing. I got doing something with your hands. What I'm getting is maybe a part of this is, again, it's in the words, putting the words with something that is tangible as well, not just a book, but that long-term will be something that happens as well, that can help feed that, as reminders, as part of your marketing, actually. And I also had a flash that, for those of you, I'm going to put a plug in for someone I know. For those of you who are writing books, I happen to know an award-winning editor who totally 100% gets our world. So when that time comes for each of you, feel free to reach out and I will give you her information. At this point, she is taking new clients. She isn't always. So yeah, just that's something that popped in my head. And I also got, you're not writing it alone.
Right. Right.
So allow the flow, allow the words to come in, and they can be finessed. That's what I'm getting. They can be, you're getting caught up in the details and not the message. The details, that's what a good editor is for.
Right.
When you get that book written and you need a cover artist, let me know.
All right, does that feel complete?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And I was going to say real quick if I can find it. Terry left a lovely note thanking us as well. Oh, she says, thank you everyone for the lovely words and messages, brought tears to my eyes. I will find someone who loves me, not just anyone. Good girl. All right, so we have got, assuming you're female. Sissel, she asks, hi, I would love for you to see if there is a change in my living environment and how my work goes. Thanks for your insights. So this is Sissel Andronia Carlson, and I know I've known her from Carn Swain. I think Angela knows her as well. And she says again, hi, I would love for you to see if there's a change in my living environment, which is kind of obtuse, like a new plant. I'm not sure what that means. And how my work goes. Thanks for your insights.
I'm not sure if her question means like, is she trying to move or something like that? But I keep hearing feng shui. And I know it's somebody making a smart ass comment about a change in my living situation. Like, well, let's change some stuff, right? Like let's there's something about change feng shui, right? Like changing the things in the home to better or to change the energy in the home. I know that's so vague, but it's almost like shifting the energy in the home then creates the opportunity or the opportunity for if it's a big change, like actually moving or getting rid of someone that maybe is living there or bringing someone else in. There's something about changing the energy in the space, and we can do that by physically moving the furniture or physically moving things, putting a mirror up here versus here. I would really push for at least look into like the feng shui aspect.
Yeah, I got something similar, and it seemed weird, but when Jason said what he said, it kind of made sense. But it said changing the space in order to make changes that are more in alignment for the you that you have become. Yeah.
I picture a larger space than where you are now, more open, but it's not immediate. Here, picture the picture of what you want. Or don't forget to dream. So I think this is both creating an environment for yourself right now, but also I really get feeling into it with your heart of what you're wanting. Feels really good.
I was just gonna say, Lynda, because you said what this card is. It's this big heart. So there's a confirmation. Is it okay if I go, or do you want to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I don't want to step on toes. I really have that feeling of the child who's like, well, what makes me happy? What's fun for me? And I actually got two cards for you, but the sense of it is that be less analytical about it and be more playful about it. And give yourself, if you don't have a playroom for your inner child or a play space for your inner child, that's also important. If there's a specific place for you to do arts, crafts, creating of any kind, to make sure that it's like Lynda said, like it's big. It's like you give yourself the space you deserve, give yourself the space you need, and then other things will start to reflect that for you. And pertaining to the job situation, because your question was, make sure I get your question here, and how my work goes. So again, that's kind of obtuse, but no judgment. Is just saying it's the more specific, the more specific we can be. But it feels like whatever is missing, to be aware of, like, well, what do you feel is missing? What is it that you're feeling is missing? And then go bring that in, like if it feels like there's something that's lacking in the environment, is it more nature? Like go out into nature, what calls your spirit, what calls you into life, and bring those elements into your home. If you're wanting to, if you're wanting your career to change, well, what resonates with that new career that you can put in your environment that feels like that new career? If you want to be an author, if you want to be a singer, whatever it might, a speaker on stage, whatever it is, bring in images and aspects of that speak that to you, so you're vibrating the experiences you want to have, and it's not external, it is in your home environment. And so when you see it, you're aligned to that shift, that advancement, that expansion that you're looking to make.
Yeah, I got as far as the career goes, I got many are here to help Sissel become a more present voice within the space of health and mental well-being. Yeah. So you got help. And you are becoming, so trust the guidance is the call.
And I have one more thing that like you're going to see that place that is, you're going to feel it, like your heart is, you're going to get there and it's like, this is it. You're going to feel it in your heart. And there's a part of you that's going to want to pull back because it's too much, or that you're afraid of how you're going to do it. It's not so much the how, it's the what. And being in alignment with that, and requesting, that the how shows up. But it's your job to know the what and to recognize it when you see it. And I just really get your heart, follow that heart of the energy of the heart. Like I feel it really moving forward when you're in alignment and opening up. So pay attention to that and follow that. And as you do it internally in your home now and where you move, It's like throwing out the breadcrumbs to follow. As you feel it, you're going to get more and more drawn to you. More and more clues, more and more opportunity. I hear opportunity a lot too.
Okay. I want to say this really, really quick. So they just brought this to my mind that is similar to kind of what I've experienced, the road that I've traveled and making a move. One thing you realize is as you shift and you are starting to shed things that no longer serve, that not only applies to your mental and emotional space, it also applies to your physical space. So what you'll come to realize is that there are certain physical things within your physical space that no longer serve you. They hold an energy and you'll become attached to that energy, which can hinder your progression into stepping into the new. So it's kind of like a tomb that you're stepping out of. And this is kind of like what's happened to me with making the move from Minneapolis to Florida. It's like stepping out of a tomb. So there are certain things that I had to leave behind because they were no longer connected or in alignment with the version of Angela that has become. It's like they were holding certain memories, like there were memories attached. There are certain consciousnesses attached, certain thought forms attached to physical things that can be attached to physical things in your physical space, and they can hinder your movement or your freedom to be within your physical space. So this is the call to make an adjustment within your physical space. It doesn't necessarily have to entail a physical move, but it is a going through and purging your physical space and removing what no longer serves within your physical space, because within the physical, it can't remove itself, right? You have to physically put it in a bag, package it up and donate it or give it away or get it out of your space and then clear the space. Like this is where we get into smudging and sage, clear the energy of the space once you physically remove the physical items from your space. That's the gist here. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Double C confirmation, looks like on
know.
Lynda's.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see me laughing over here. It's because it's hitting so much. It's
Yeah.
Does she channel?
I don't know.
Sissel, yeah.
Okay.
Sissel is tapped in. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because there is this what
Mhm.
I would call it angelic energy. Like in my when I close my eyes, like, and if I'm imagining her sitting, like it's direct. There's no gender, but I would call it a man. It's a more masculine energy. It feels like directly behind her. It's almost like a beam of white light. Is how I see it in my head. And they were like, she channels. So confirmation. Like he is like right behind.
It's time to go forward and level up, Sissel.
Yeah.
Clear
Because he's ready.
Clear the
Like,
space.
he's ready.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Does that feel complete, everyone? Are you saying yes? Okay. Sorry, I'm like on another screen. Alrighty. All right, Sam Kennedy. All right, so Sam Kennedy asks, I have always felt like I am so different. I remember asking my mom when I was small if I was an alien. What do you feel? So I'll say that again. I know, right? I was like, yes, you are. So Sam Kennedy asks, I have always felt so different. I remember asking my mom when I was small if I was an alien. My heart goes out to you. What do you feel?
As soon as you started reading the question, it was like Starseed.
Yeah, we're all star things in human form, right? Yeah.
I hear Pleiades. I know it's a cluster, like there's several things, but that area I feel like is where the energy is attached to. I really almost want to say that there's something, I don't know if you do this, or, if you don't, I feel like it's something that would be worth looking into. There's something energetic with my hands with you. Like a healing thing, right? Like, but not like Reiki drawing the symbols or making the symbols. This would be like more like hands on. There's something like I want to do like this, like energy work. Like it's almost like imagining the energy right in your head or visualizing it and then physically using your hands to manipulate the energy that you're imagining. Something like that.
You want to hop in, Angela?
There's just a call to be aware that a caution to not get attached to one specific star system or one specific race of beings, if that's what you want to call it, but to remember that you are multidimensional, that you have multidimensional aspects of self that encompass you. So while you may appear here in physical form, you are a collection of beings. You're not just singular, is the point.
100. I'll hop in. So this image comes up a lot in my readings with people, and it is letting the head get ahead of itself and getting up in the head about things, and you leave the body behind. When your body, gosh, if you want to know about your star lineage, go into your body and meditate within, and go into self-reflection and self-discovery. So there's a caution to look for external answers as opposed to trusting your internal gut and what you know, and leaving yourself behind in the pursuit of finding yourself. And the other card that shows up, I think, really mirrors what Angela is saying in terms of more than one lineage. Like as you go inside and as you do this self-discovery, gosh, it's so precious. It's so precious to find that journey within and be like, oh, this is from this is from that. These lives, this life attunes to this star aspect. This life attunes to that star aspect. And I am the amalgamation and conglomeration of all of this. And it's so precious for your psychic stuff to turn on into your DNA lineage and understand how, you know, you're a star being from the stars, but it also shows up in your DNA. It shows up in your guts. It shows up in your history. It shows up in your life. They're not separate. Your physical body is not separate from your star lineage. It's all connected. And as you go within, you see the universe is actually inside you this whole time in a very visceral, real, one-on-one way.
Can you put that card up a little closer?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I just want to point out the energy in the hands.
Oh, that's exactly what Jason was talking about.
So for me, I when I was talking, or it's going to know again, when I asked the direct, am I an alien? No. But then I get, Angela's, we all are starseeds. We are all, you know, literally made up of stardust, right? So there's that aspect. I heard no labels.
Nice.
And I also felt you. I really felt this confusion as you observed and still do your world. Like it doesn't make sense. You have a very kind heart. And it really confounds you when you see others hurting or being unkind. So it does make you feel separate. I also think that you do have a lot of empathic abilities that maybe you need to learn more about and remember, that what's coming in for me is also feeling bombarded by other people. And so really making sure that you have energetic boundaries and that you're willing always to ask, is this mine? Because I think that you pick up this, I hear the word dismay, that you pick up a lot of things that are uncomfortable for you. Be willing to set them down and release them. And I just keep getting, be willing to ask questions. Be willing to be, you don't have to know the answers, it's the questions. So I know that's really esoteric, but that's what I'm getting.
Does that feel complete? Are you good, Miss Lynda, or is there anything else? Because
I just get, you being embraced by your tribe. Like you're finding
here
people
we
that
are.
Understand you. There you are.
Come join us.
Yeah.
All right, that feels good.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we got. So thank you for that. I hope that was. I hope that served. Now I'm going to say this. I believe this is 3 words stuck together. The way I'm going to say this. So I'm going to say this way. It makes sense to me. So KM, aka Aunt Kat's Attic. Aunt Kat's Attic is what it looks like if I break that down. I don't know how to say it if it's one word. So KM, aka Aunt Kat's Attic. I'm retired. I'd like guidance on what would be the best things I could do for my grown daughter and my young granddaughters during my last decades. Is there a message with health guidance for me? So it sounds like those are 2 questions. So I'll just put that out there and we're going to get what we get. I'm retired. I'd like guidance on what would be the best things I could do for my grown daughter and my young granddaughters during my last decades. Is there a message with health guidance for me?
I got right away, enjoy life. Like see the pricelessness of life and just focus on your enjoyment, not trying to do anything for them because they are all sovereign beings, just living life, enjoying life, valuing the beauty of life, sharing the beauty of life, everything that life has to offer. Those things that have become life lessons for you, share those types of things, but really it's just about being and enjoying life at this point, because you model it for them. You show them a new view of what life is, what life can be. It doesn't have to be aging in a down physical state as you age and get older. Focus on having fun, doing those things that you've always wanted to do, living your dreams so that when it is time, you can leave with no regrets and no attachments, living life to the fullest at this point. Yeah.
And I heard be the example. So that goes right along with that. I also heard, which has come up, I mean, it's part of what I try to do every day, but sometimes I'm more successful than others. I heard walk with grace.
Mm.
And so grace means something different to everyone. If there's health challenges, being able to walk with grace through them. I hear trust. And joy.
Yeah.
Like really being able to find that joy is really important. And I see you celebrating with them. like the celebration of your time together. But I also don't see you really close physically, like always in their sphere. I feel that that's not the case.
Jason.
I had a couple of things. One thing, I feel like there's a man here. It almost feels like he would stand to the side of her like an equal. So I don't know if this is husband or brother. It's this, like he stands to the side of me. So like in relation to her, like right, so like they would be equals. Somebody said go skydiving.
Said what?
Like skydiving, jumping out of an airplane. Like as a, you know, and there's a, it almost feels like, okay, I don't know if there's a W connection, like Walter or William. There's this W sound that I want to make. It honestly feels like everything's already set, right? Like there's not much else that you're going to have to do. It almost feels like we've already done it. Like the planning has already been taken care of. There's a thing of spend as much time with the granddaughter as possible, right? Because that youth kind of keeps us lively. And then it's creating memories for her. The health thing, it honestly, I don't feel any major, like major issues. It feels like it's a clear sailing. I mean, we all, with age, stuff happens, you know, like we physically, like stuff happens, but it doesn't feel like anything major. So it really is like a enjoy it.
I just heard picture of help, and what I got was picturing your help.
Yeah.
And then picturing their help, like you holding that space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something else, Jason, on the guy? It seems like he's tapping you on the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be a W connection. I don't know. It just feels like he's there.
Okay.
And it just, I feel like he's the one that's like, we've taken care of this. Like everything's taken care of. It really is a matter of enjoy, right? Like enjoy.
I'm gonna hop in, Jason, but if anything else
Yeah.
comes up, feel free. So it was just as Angela was talking at the very beginning, this popped out, and it's literally somebody kicking back and just receiving, like, and this also came up for someone else earlier this week as well, where it's like, take the joy and put it into your heart. Like, oh, I had this experience. Oh, I have this experience. Like savoring that and being able to acknowledge it. And just as you feel the gratitude for all that you have, like everything else comes out of that. So if you just reach out and say, oh, that happened. Oh, this happened. And you lean back and receive it and savor it, like, just enjoy comes through. And then this card came up for you too, came out for you. This is another power card that's been coming up this week, where it's like, honor your journey as matron, as, you know, crone, as warrior, as wisdom teacher. Like, just because you're in your, you know, quote unquote final decades in the physical body, like, wow, how much have you learned? How much wisdom do you hold in your belly? How much, like, there's still all of this fire that's there. So don't deny the rest of this beautiful journey that's yours. Like, on some levels, your journey is just starting. This new journey, this new chapter of your life is just starting. And it's rich, it's wonderful, it's wise, and you'll naturally give out and share from that journey just by being you. But don't sidestep that by focusing on others' happiness. Like, it's fill yourself, others will be filled. So Just enjoy what's coming next and let it fill you up, and it will naturally pour out of you. Are you asking something, Lynda?
I am. So I'm also getting there may be a time where they need you more, but it's important for you to ask what they need versus assume what they need. So, and again, I hear be the example. So I get this calmness about your energy and this trust. So again, enjoying your life, and if there's something that feels scary, that's when you step in with that wisdom. Yeah, just holding the space. I keep getting holding the space.
Do we feel complete?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So Susan Strickland asks, is the cancer back? Susan Strickland asks, is the cancer back?
But medical questions are hard, right? Disclaimer, I am not a doctor. Uh,
Are you asking for you or someone else?
Ask the pendulum. I trust it'd have to be for her. It's for her. That's what I feel.
my first reaction is currently no. Is it a possibility that the fight is not over? More than likely. And that, that's not I'm not gloom and doom, right? Like we're fighters, we're survivors. But it does feel like there's the potential for another, like a relapse. Is that what they would call it? But I don't think it's in the same. I don't think it's in the same. I don't know. It feels different. So whether it's not in the same space.
Mm. Yeah. So this is what I got. I said, the guide said, many will say yes. However, we will say only to the degree that she will believe it so. So only to the degree that you accept it, right? Because we get to choose what we want to go into agreement with, right? And if we go into agreement with something, it becomes part of our reality. So it's to the degree that you choose to believe whatever outcome you choose.
Did you want to go, Lynda, or do you want me to go?
I'm just feeling something right here that's of concern.
Okay.
Maybe that's so I've had people before that I had someone that I wrote what I call the submarine sirens go off when I saw her, and literally sent her to the doctor. Told her I would pay for the visit if I was wrong. I've never had something that strong. Like I'm getting concerned,
So you're saying there's no submarine sirens,
but
for
I'm
her.
not getting any sirens.
Okay,
I'm not getting anything like that. And I'm also getting, it could be a different cause, whatever that is that you're concerned about. And I would say, ask what it's trying to tell you. Ask your body what it's trying to tell you.
I'll hop in and then we'll come back, Miss Lynda, as you get more, because I feel like you're gonna.
Yeah, I'm just
you're-
getting emotional release. There's
Okay.
I got that. Yeah. Oh, do you want me to share it? I can go ahead. Okay. Julia Cannon has written a book called Soul Speak, and she speaks about it all the time. Dolores Cannon even spoke about it as well, that cancer is a result of repressed anger. So holding anger in, it gets packed within the body. So when Lynda mentioned release, that's kind of what I was feeling as well. There's a need for release to go within the emotional body and find whatever it is that you have stuffed down. Sometimes if you ask the spot, whatever it is that you are feeling this energy from, put your awareness on that place and ask it what is being held, so that you can see it for what it is and make the decision to release it, because you are ultimately the one in choice within every scenario. You can choose to hold on to it, or you can choose to see it. And when you choose to see it, it may not feel good. It's probably not going to feel good, right? When emotion, negative emotion, especially when it's rising to the top, it does not feel good. You can feel it throughout your physical body, and the reactive response is to continue to push it down. But you have to allow it to come up and be seen, feel all the emotion attached to it. And as it rises and you're feeling that emotion, just give it love. Give it love and allow it to resolve itself in its own way, the way that suits your highest good and evolution. But there is a call for release, as Lynda said.
I'm gonna hop in if that's cool. So this card came up again, but this is different for you in this occasion, where it feels like there's a long-standing grief. What I get is a long-standing grief, and it's not just from having to deal with the cancer, but it came from before that. It was some loss that happened, and because you weren't willing to grieve it all of the way, it has hardened into anger and some resentment. And so that's what I'm feeling is like creating a knot or a nodule. It's like this resentment, this heart energy that will not come through, because God, to go back into that grief again is asking too much. So I really encourage you to give yourself permission to grieve the rest of the way. Maybe you do that through plant medicine. Maybe you do that through Reiki. Maybe, you don't have to do it alone. How do we initiate our own grief healing? It's best, it can be best done with someone's there to hold the space, so we can lose control. You need to be able to lose control to feel it all, and to have someone hold the container for you to do that safely will allow you to cross safe passage through. And the other card, again, we had this card earlier, but it's come up for you, is almost feels like holding a baby to me in this energy. It feels more like holding yourself and giving yourself this, instead of having to be strong for everybody, like be so gentle with yourself and hold your wound, hold that achy spot, that pain like a baby, and see it with the eyes of a compassionate mother of a crying baby. And just be with it and say, you know what, this part of me has every right to express itself. This part of me has every right to its voice, to its actualization. And once you hear it, I mean, just think of this coming out of your chest and into your hands, where you're holding it. you're loving it, you're talking to it, and then it can be transmuted and completely released. But you have to sit with it and hold space for it to exit your body and become an experience and become your history and no longer something you're currently carrying.
And I heard energetic movement before Kat was talking. So I do think that that's a huge part of this. And I had an image of when I helped my mom pass, and all that energy shifted, and I literally felt it go into my gallbladder. And my gallbladder died. It went to zero function. And I had to have it removed. And I was like, all I could think of, and Kat was through this with me, was thank you for taking the hit for the team. Like that's how I felt. And I was grateful that it was there to do that. And so that energetic movement may be focused in a certain area. You don't have to have it removed. In my case, that was part of that process. But like there's a part of your body that's holding something that's taking a hit for the team. And it's allowing that to release.
Did you have follow-up, Angela? Or were you just...
No, I'm just agreeing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just agreeing.
So we're all good?
Yep.
Okay. Two. I did not prep this next one. Well, here's a good question. Hello, everyone. How do I request a free reading? Well, we're doing free readings right now. So if you put a double question mark in front of your, or 2 or 3 question marks in front of your question, divinely guided 302, then we've got another about 25 minutes to go through. So we will see if we can get to it. But that was how you do that today. And you can certainly reach out. Angela and I do readings through donation. So let's see here. Lots of good comments. That's for sure. Lots of good feedback. People are really supporting each other. Okay, here we go. So Claudia says, I'm wondering, this is Claudia Edge, who I love. Don't have your sweater on today, Claudia, but it's always in my heart. I'm wondering if you guys can come up with a reason why my guides won't allow me to send in my question. Anything coming through for me? So she was having a hard time putting the question in.
You already know.
Because she already knows the answer to her question. Don't ask what you already know.
That's what I got, like right away. Yeah.
And I'll switch for the other contestants. On the third eye is right. No, on the third eye here to see if there's anything else that comes up or through for Miss Claudia on that one. That's fair, Angela. That's really fair.
And I'd gotten earlier that it's in the phrasing in the words.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm right there with Angela.
Yeah.
And Lynda, like, or ask another question.
And this comes up, and to me, this says, oh, just enjoy. Don't worry so much about the question. Are you enjoying yourself? Are you enjoying yourself? Are you enjoying yourself? Like, it's more like that is the most relevant thing you can do right now. And the question kind of answers itself as soon as you let yourself enjoy yourself and get out of your head. So that's our third eye sassy response.
I do feel like there's a celebration coming up for her. Like, nice. I don't know if that's like a date of significance, like birthday, like anniversary, something like that, but it just feels like there's a part. It almost feels like there's a party, like there's something to celebrate coming up for her fairly quickly.
Nice. Okay. Just trying to make sure you don't miss anything. Okay, great. Divinely Guided 302. We're good to go, right? Divinely Guided 302 asks, how can I balance out my energy so I can get on a regular sleep schedule? Good question. Background, I had a lot of upheaval since July 2021, moved to Portugal end of May 2022. All right, so I'll read that again. So this is Divinely Guided 302. How can I balance out my energy so I can get on a regular sleep schedule? I had a lot of upheaval since July 2021, moved to Portugal end of May 2022.
Yeah, a practice of meditation, connection, going within the self, allowing yourself to get familiar with the feeling of being in the heart space, connected in that space of silence is what I get.
So I get nesting. And what that means for me, because I often have trouble going to sleep at a normal time, and then I'll wake up in the different times. When I am most successful, I nest. I picture in my mind, to the point where my body feels it, the most amazing place I could ever sleep. And it's a place I go to, whether it be, outside in this magical area, whether it be safe and snug in the perfect bed, but really picturing yourself there nesting, and also physically nesting, finding what's really like, I feel snugness around you would help.
Jason, were you ready?
Yeah. So what I keep seeing in my head, I saw this video not so long ago. This guy had taken these copper wires and put them like up under his mattress, and then had them running out the window into the ground, while he's sleeping. I don't know if where you physically live, if that's an option. Sometimes you may be in an apartment on the second or third floor. It may not be feasible, right, to run this copper. However, that doesn't mean that you can't use that same principle with like a potted plant, right? It just feels like it's a grounding issue for me. So like that, they may even make, you may not even have to come up with it yourself. They may make a product that does that. But they keep showing me that video where the man, he puts the copper wire like up under his mattress and it has it running into the earth. So whether that's a potted plant or actually going out a window, if that's something you can do, but there's a grounding. There's a grounding issue.
That's kind of where the meditation and the getting outside in nature were coming from as well. But to speak to what Jason said, there's a thing called a grounding pad that you can purchase. They sell them on Amazon. You plug it into the wall and it helps to settle and diffuse. That's what the earth does naturally. When you sit on the ground, it diffuses. It helps you release all the negative energies from your system and helps you rebalance. So there's a grounding pad that can essentially do the same thing. But I would say natural is always best. And I'll say that. I'll go to the grave saying that. So you can sit on the earth, give yourself 10 to 15 minutes every day just to sit and be bottom, feet, hand, palms touching the ground, and just allow yourself to just be in that space for a few moments. And that's all it takes every day.
And here's Lynda to show you what you've won.
And this is like the desk version of that pad. I have it because I tend to blow up electronics. And so part of what I use it for is that. But I kept getting grounding as well. And this is by Ground Therapy. And so when you can't feet. Like I live where it just rains and rains and rains. So it's hard for me to get out there and put my feet on the ground and not freeze. And so especially like in winter, you're not in that situation, but that's why I have one. But it is, I also very first heard grounding. So I think grounding during the day will help in the evening, and then grounding before you go to bed. Like I literally picture myself just dropping down into the earth. And I feel myself drop into the bed energetically deeper when I ground. And it can happen in an instant when you get in practice.
And you can crystal grid. You can grid up under your bed, with certain crystals.
And at the corners of your bed.
Kyanite is good for that. I hang a pouch. I have a pouch, and they don't have to be charged. Kyanite doesn't have to be charged ever. You can just put some in a pouch and hang it underneath your bed. I do it for my children because my son would get up all times of the night. It was almost like he couldn't settle, but it helped to balance him, and that's what kyanite does. It's a balancing crystal. Yeah.
And I also double C confirmation, clear your space.
Yeah.
There's some energy that is lingering. So definitely do some clearing of your home. Saging. Clearing can be done in so many ways. It's in the intent. So, yeah, that's one of the things that I see you with, like a white candle also. Corners, hitting all the corners, opening the windows, going the doors, clearing that space of anything that's less than highest consciousness. Anything that's not in your highest good, release it.
So this is the first card that I drew, which if you can get a look on that face, I don't know if that's going to focus or not. But to me, there's a real sense of just see what I get with this. So it's like there's a sense of like, what did I create? What did I do? And there's like a lot of over analyzing, and the rainbow is supposed to go over my head, not drooping down. Like, there's just this thing of like, what did I create? Kind of reeling maybe from what has been created and analyzing it, thinking about it, going over it, trying to fix the past. And that will keep you in your head, that will keep you disconnected. And yeah, and I think that there's a part of you that loves the celestial stuff. Well, if you're hanging out with us, probably so. Loves the celestial, loves all of that stuff, but in so much that you do that, the whole thing of grounding came back up on this card, where here's this person laying on the earth again, and grounding, receiving. So if your tenacity is to go up into your head, fly out into the stars and see what's there, that's cool, but you need to balance it out with the grounding and receiving. And to let go what has ever happened has happened, and here you are now, and to not repeat it and not try to fix it from the past. You've got to just go forward, and if there's something to grieve, but don't overanalyze. Is my hot 2 cents on that.
Yeah. Go ahead. I just want to say that it's a process, so you have to be patient with yourself in this regard, because an over analytical mind is just what it is, and it's going to run and run and run until it gets in a habit of dialing itself down. So take little steps, be patient with yourself, sit out in nature, and slowly but surely that rambling or that incessant thought cycle will start to decrease. But I was getting the call to tell you to be patient with you. It won't happen all at once. It won't happen all overnight, but it is a process as you are willing to take the steps toward making those simple changes. Yeah.
Does that feel good? Okay, thank you, Divinely Guided. So Nancy Lee, this is very specific. Boy, we asked for specific. Are we getting it? Nancy Legit asks, I had a dog named Flint who passed away a long time ago. His mom was a border collie named Maddie. Can we find out what breed his father was? So I'll ask that again. Nancy Legit, I had a dog named Flint who passed away a long time ago. His mom was a border collie named Maddie. Can we find out what breed his father was?
So Nancy, I get yes, that you can do it, but it's like it's visible. Somebody that knows dog breeds can identify it pretty easily from pictures of Flint, that it's very visible.
I don't think we're talking about a purebred situation here when it comes to father lineage. Like, it's not just like, oh, it's this one thing. What kind of dog is that I keep seeing in my head? I keep seeing, what was Rin? What was that dog? Like the police dog,
German
like,
Shepherd.
yeah. There's some, like, there's that, I see that because they've got like the tan fur, but this black around the face. But I don't think it's like a purebred. Like, it's just this one.
Nancy, I heard, why do you want to know? And then I heard personality. So are you looking for the traits?
That's what came through in this card. Was you'll find it in the personality. Like, the father can be found in the personality that's carried forward. It's like how the father behaves shows up in the genetic lineage, and it's like the flame of the personality. That was cool.
Okay, so I got like, it's not all canine, right? Because I got some Zeta. That was my response. So maybe there's something else going on in that space.
Interesting. A Doberman Zeta. Do you have more, Lynda? Okay. You're saying no, but you're also doing the thing. Okay.
I'm getting that she has a feeling of what it is already.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, Nancy, I hope that was beneficial. Elizabeth McKinnon. Yay, Elizabeth. There are many things that I'd like to do with my life career-wise, but I can't seem to settle on a direction. This will probably have to be our last question because we are at 8 till the top of the hour. So there are many things I'd like to do with my life career-wise, but I can't seem to settle on a direction. I'm wondering if you can get any strong vibes about me that may suggest what I'm meant to be. That may suggest I'm meant to be what I'm meant to be, I think is how that's supposed to say. I'll say it again. Elizabeth McKinnon says, there are many things that I would like to do with my life career-wise, but I can't seem to settle on a direction. I'm wondering if you can get any strong vibes about me that may suggest what I'm meant to be.
All of the above.
Yeah. There's no must be or meant to be. There is a choice. And you don't have to settle on one specific choice. You can endeavor to explore all avenues. That's what this life is here for. Humans get caught up in the thought that there must be a chosen path and there must be this and it has to be maintained for now and forever until you leave. But there is the opportunity to explore life. That's why you are here, to endeavor to explore many things, because many avenues will afford you the opportunity to gain many lessons and many experiences. And that's why you have come.
Kat, would you mind reading that one more time for me?
There are many things I'd like to do with my life, career-wise, but I can't seem to settle on a direction. I'm wondering if you can get any strong vibes about me that may suggest what I'm meant to be. And so this card has come up again while Lynda's tuning in. I'll let, and again, it's like the head disconnecting from the body, thinking about overthinking. But also, to me, in this card, it says, look at all the things I can do. I'm good at this, I'm good at this, I'm good at this, I'm good at this. And so it's like, oh, how do I pick one of those? You know, which one am I supposed to fit into? And the thing is, like, if you want to teach leadership, you've got to give yourself permission to use all of your talents in a way that grows your tree, in a way that grows your life. And as opposed to being focused on, because I think you're very service oriented and you're very much like wanting to help the world. You want to help people, and that's a good intention, but being that, so which one do I do to help people the most? And that becomes then outside in as opposed to inside out. And it really feels like in this situation, you're, you know, being called to, oh yeah, looking at this one. So we'll give this little card some time. This talks about you expressing what you want into the world as opposed to wondering what it is you want to do in the world. Like the amalgamation of all the things you know how to do is the gift. It already is the gift. And for you to take a path, to just put your feet into a path and to start to move forward, the other gifts that you have are naturally going to come through and support that movement forward, as opposed to picking one. There's a coalescence of all your gifts and abilities expressed in a unified gift, but it's not from picking one of these up here that I know I'm good at. It's an amalgamation, expression, unified through what you do that makes you happy. When you start to lead yourself as the leader and you don't focus on other people as the leader, it'll actually start to coalesce more, because it's you'll get determined. You'll get determined about what you want to do versus looking for the door that's open. Is that door going to open? Is this door going to open? I've decided this is what I want to do. There's been a door the whole time. I've been afraid to touch it and open it. I'm not now. I'm going to go through it and dare to be different, dare to be strange, dare to be seen in a way that before would have been uncomfortable for you.
So what I was seeing, you know, it was just the helicopter mode is sometimes just waiting to hear. So I know that it is coming up with you. And like I was getting, any of the choices are good at the point of making the choice. But I also kept getting, which is a kind of what Kat was saying, it's in the, like, look at your values, what you want, but also look at your skills and your talents, because I keep getting combined. Like there's some other answer. It doesn't have to be either or in how you show up in the world. No matter what you choose, it's using those talents and being in alignment with your values. Because ultimately, what feeling do you want to have, and what feeling do you want to present to the world, more than the how? That makes sense.
Yeah, I have something to add to that. Sometimes the same thing is not always required. Okay, so sometimes like you think I need to do this and I need to repeat this every single time I put something out into the world. The way I've learned to operate is to make myself available. So sometimes it just takes being available. And in the moment of making yourself available, opening up as a channel, what is necessary will come through in the moment. And whatever that thing is that is necessary, it'll pick up the necessary skills that you already possess, and you'll know to utilize those and how to utilize those within the moment to produce whatever is seeking to be birthed through you, right? So it's making yourself available, not seeing what it is that the world needs, right? Because the world is simply reflecting you. Make sense? So you are projecting the world that you witness, right? So making yourself open and available as the open channel, saying, what can I produce? I'm just making myself available to whatever is seeking to be birthed, whatever is seeking to be produced, whatever we need for our highest good and evolution in this particular moment, and allowing that to come through. In the moment of making yourself available in that way, the inspired action comes through. You will know in the moment of need what needs to be done, rather than trying to devise and develop a plan based on what you perceive or think, because what you perceive is a judgment. It can be subjective based on how you interpret and filter the world, right? So what you want to do is just make yourself open, because whatever is needed most can come through you if you function in soul alignment, because you're getting it like directly from the soul through as an open channel.
All right, cool. Is everyone good on that one? I think it's good advice for us all. So I'm going to do this thing where I'm going to ask each and every one of you, what would you like to share from your heart to our audience at this time before we do our final wrap up here? And Mr. Jason, do you want to start, or?
The winning lottery numbers are 42, 27, 12, 17, and 5.
Everybody.
How fucked up would that be if we all hit the jackpot?
Well, we're all
Make
going to
sure-
go buy them so we can share in the winnings. So
Yeah.
If you win, make sure where you heard it here. You heard it here.
Yeah,
Eye
right.
Salon.
You're gonna be buying a big ass cup of coffee if you win. Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, for putting the trust in us and allowing us to share. It means a lot. I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity.
Miss Angela.
I would like to echo Jason's sentiments and say thanks for trusting us to respond to your queries and inquiries and questions, all that good stuff. But know that what we've done here is exactly what you can do yourself if you get tapped into the heart space and allow yourself to know that you have the innate meaning by right of being who you are, by right of being alive, you have access to the same information as do we. And you would have an even better perspective, because it's you answering you from your own unique perspective in a way that yields your highest good and evolution too. We can give it to you, you can use it, but it's even better when it's coming from the self, right? It's even better when it's coming from you. So know that you have this capability as well as you are the creator of your experience.
Thank you. Miss Lynda?
yeah, I actually got this image, and it's an old trick that I had learned. When you're caught in the thoughts and you can't seem to be making a clear decision between two things, the image I have is flipping the coin. One is one side of it, the other option is the other side of it. Flip the coin and then see which side you're betting on when it lands, because then you're going to get clear on what you want. I mean, we don't think about it that much, but when it's in the air, you get the answer of what you want. And that's just a hack for really feeling your heart and where you're wanting to go with your life. Also hearing patterns. Look at patterns. If you're wanting change, look at the patterns that you're repeating and find the lessons and try something different. If the patterns keep coming up, if you keep saying, why does this always happen? Well, there's one commonality in that, and that's you.
Yeah.
So look inward, find the lesson, and look at how you've always dealt with it in the past, and be open to dealing with it in a different way.
All right. Very good. And I will say, from my heart to yours, I'm very grateful for you all being here. And I'm so grateful for you being part of the Third Eye Salon community, either here on YouTube or on the Facebook group, or sometimes in person when that gets to happen, which is always a huge gift. We value you, and you make us what we are. So thank you for giving us this opportunity. Thank you for, I guess I should say, you provide the opportunity for us to be who we are in a more magnified way. So thank you for that. And we want to give that light and magnification back to you, because we're all going through a waking up process. We're all going through it, these incredible journeys and peeling off of layers and coming into ourselves in brand new ways. And we don't have to do this alone. We're not meant to do it alone. We're meant for community. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for being part of this one. I truly see you, value, and appreciate you. And all of our links are down below. If you want to have readings with any one of us, we've got our links down below. All of our links are there also for our Third Eye Salon group, for donations to Third Eye Salon, for Surfshark, all that good stuff, all can be found below. And I'll let you know that next week, our guest is going to be Don Anderson, who is an ET contactee. I found Don via Preston Dennett and his show, and he had a really cool conversation with Don. So I knew I wanted to bring him in. So he will be with us next week. And other than that, please take care of yourself. We love you. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll talk to you all soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.